Alright, so as many of you maybe know, this match is against two AIs, which has recently just been updated. So, Leif, maybe you can tell a bit about your update, and then I'll tell a bit about mine, and then we can get the match going.
Yeah, absolutely. So the this update is more of a bug fix update, working on making sure that the town centers are placed in better locations, like not being by the enemy. Also, there was one match where he had a double barracks in Dark Age, which was not intentional. And I think that was due to having two building systems working side by side, one being the main one and one being a backup. And so this version is just making sure that there's less conflicts of both systems working at the same time to make it run smoother. A few other changes like making sure that the technologies are researched, the balance between research is being researched and units being trained, just a slight difference there. And all
Alright.
around should be a better system going forward. And another big one, of course, is add in the Huns so that I could attest on the original game.
Alrighty, sounds good. Now, before I start the game and talk a bit about my update, I'll just want to make sure that all the settings are correct. A new message or not. I'll just start the game and you can scream out if something is wrong. Alright, I'll put the music back on. And we are in the game. In the blue trunks we have Rehoboam, in the red, the general. So, as I was saying, Rehoboam recently got a very big update. One of three big updates so far, and this one is focusing on the military micro of Rehoboam. All in all, this is probably the update which will be felt most by players playing against the AI, as it is now much more aggressive and will put much more pressure on early in the game and will micro its military a lot more. Also, the build order has been adjusted, and overall it's just much stronger than before, and also more fun to watch, I'd say, when playing. So I guess we will
Yeah, that sounds great.
it'll be easier to showcase the things once the game gets started. Right now we're just in Dark Age, where not too much is happening. General is building
Are there
its...
any special micro features that you think we'd be able to see with Rehoboam?
I'm pretty sure that anyone who's ever seen a game from Rehoboam before will easily notice the difference. It's microing a lot, and it's... for anyone who has seen the showcase channel and the micro scenarios there, it's basically that micro just put into a real game. We have the first boars being
Definitely
lured.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, we have the first boars being lured. A bit of over-retasking here, but otherwise pretty flawless Dark Ages so far. General seems to have found all his resources. Rehoboam still looking for the last sheep, it seems. So, Leif, have you tested the general against Rehoboam yet?
Not a whole lot. Most of the testing was against fast castle AIs like Juggernaut and Eagle's Revenge. It's kind of interesting. This pool of 5 AIs, 3 of them have a prominent fast castle strategies. So testing that against those AIs and also against aggressive AIs in Feudal Age, making sure that defense against that can be as good as possible. Not much you can do with a fast castle, just making sure they can survive the Castle Age. So I'm actually looking forward to this match to see how they play against each other.
Yeah. So, will the general build towers if he's under a lot of pressure early?
Yes, so if the the general detects based on age up time that the opponent went feudal age, then it will build a defensive tower. Yeah, by default, it won't do it against a fast castle AI because it assumes it'll have military to defend. So I'm looking to see where that tower goes. And a lot depending on placement will determine how effective its defense will be.
Alright. And we see that apparently the general lost the bill to a boar here. Not sure exactly what went wrong.
Well, sometimes it will sacrifice Loom in order to get a better eco, so it's probably one time where it didn't pay off.
Yep.
And too bad it didn't have the old Aztec Civ bonus. That would have helped there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So for those who don't know, Rehoboam also will save Loom until it clicks up to feudal, unless it's going to hunt elephants and rhinos, which are a bit more dangerous to take without Loom. And the reason for delaying Loom is that you'll basically have one more villager working for the entirety of the time between, or the entirety of the time that you delay Loom, which in a normal game can turn into about 50 extra resources, so it's definitely worth it if you can get away with it. But obviously losing a vill is not worth it. But it's probably a rare thing for the general, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty rare, and I think most of the time when it loses a vill is because it's one of the like 6 hunters that help assist killing the boar.
Yep.
And if it's like down on 10 HP, doesn't have time to put it in the TC. But still, the potential to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so General's got some farms down, also hunting the ostrich.
For some reason I can't get... do you remember which hotkey you need to press to get the view of player 2?
It should be Control-Shift F2. You might have to hold down the FN button as well to get that to work.
I was pressing F1.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't screw up the control.
Yeah, F1 would be for player 1, F2 would be for player 2.
That seems to be fine. Alright, cool. So Rehoboam is up to feudal here. One thing I did notice differed in their Dark Age was the lumber camp placement, which is pretty clear that Rehoboam uses DOC for these, and would seem as if the general doesn't, or maybe just have another prioritization of having the lumber camps close. Can you confirm if if it
the
DOC?
lumber camp placement is... It does use DOC. It uses a combination of both the distance from the enemy and the distance to the TC, and so it probably could use some optimization. It looks like it's trying to over-prioritize distance from the enemy at this point.
Alright. Cool. So, we see Rehoboam moving out with its archer army here, just as the general is approaching feudal age. So the question here will be whether Rehoboam will do enough damage with its archers. Actually, the general's map is kind of amazing here. It has back bushes, back golds. Oh, I tried to build a tower, but the build got killed. But it has basically all these resources in the back.
Early.
So it's a good thing that Rehoboam is updated to now circle around the enemy base and not just go for the front as it would do in prior builds.
Yep, this will be a good test for the general's defense. The tower being spoiled is going to be hurting it quite a lot. And probably just showing the speed of Rehoboam. So, definitely a lot of vill kills here.
Yeah, it seems it just got the buildings up to click up now. Or apparently... it didn't click up there for some reason.
It might be looking for villager numbers, which is something that needs to be fixed.
Alright. Yeah, because it just lost the bills, and then, yeah, that makes sense. Then it would delay the uptime. Yeah, and it's actually hurting
It's
it
like
quite a bit
the
here.
minimum number of villagers it has.
I think it could have clicked
Absolutely.
up 50 seconds earlier, actually, and it really needs to get up now, because these archers are doing quite a bit of damage here. And not just killing the vills, but idling these farms at this point is very big, because that food is needed for both eagles and their upgrades. And without upgrades, we can see that the new micro is, yeah, pretty brutal.
Yeah, it looks like they haven't found the main gold yet, but I'm sure they'll find it soon.
Maybe this barracks will even get the
Probably
knights.
spoke too soon.
Yeah, it found the second gold, so that's at least a bit of a saving grace here. But it seems it might sacrifice a lot of vills to get this barracks up, and now the reinforcements are getting in. This looks like quite a daunting task. So far it has 6 eagles with the one in the queues. And it got its last barrack up, so question is, can it actually get the upgrades needed to kill this army? Now it's run out of berries.
Yeah, but I don't see the Eagle Warrior upgrade going up yet.
Yeah,
it would be pretty big with the extra Pierce Armor.
Yeah, but it's so far it's still 200 foot away. Its farms were idled a lot, so alright, it seems like it's attacking now. It has only +1 and not the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Yeah. So, I guess that that's the first game.
Yep, definitely Rehoboam all the way.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's one of the main weaknesses of in general. If the enemy goes up quick enough that it can't tower, then it usually falls pretty easily.
Yeah, I think the old version of Rehoboam would have been a very, very different game here. It would probably have attacked like about the same time, but it would not go around the base and idle this much eco, and also not micro against the eagles this way. So
Yep, definitely a good showcase for the new micro.
let's hope the general can get up a bit faster next time and not try to build extra vills, because that may have made a small difference if it had gotten some extra resources.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Just getting up faster, probably fewer veals killed, and then they getting more eagles out with the +3 attack.
But actually, next game we're not gonna see eagles, I guess, because if I remember correctly, the Civ for the general is hunts for the next game here.
So hopefully with the house's eco, maybe they'll get up a faster castle age.
Yeah, and also we can see if the knights can maybe do a better job. At least they won't require a big expensive upgrade right away.
Exactly.
So I'll just checking whether the civs are correct here. Yeah, seems to be correct. Alright, so we'll jump into the second game. So I guess actually the general in this version it doesn't build any ranged units until late in the game, correct?
Right, it saves it for after the initial attack, and then starts mixing in other units just to prioritize, like, just not try to get like 5 or 6 upgrades at once for them.
Yep, makes sense.
and so they won't see any defense military in the feudal age.
Yeah, because one of
I'm
the
pretty sure just like abandoning the fast castle to defend with skirmishers or something would probably just end up falling dead to the more aggressive archer rush.
yeah, yeah. I'm not really. I think you're correct in when going fast castle. It's good to go for the power units that way. Also, when you don't have a lot of extra micro features added. I was just thinking about it because probably the most fancy aspect of the new micro of this update is against archers. But I guess we won't be seeing that probably these games then.
Right, if General makes it to mid castle age, I'm guessing we'll see knights with skirmishers.
Yep.
So make Armon a little bit happy. But knights are the answer to skirmishers.
Yep. So I've noticed that in the new update, the general will put its sheep here. Is there any specific reason for this location? For the
The fact that they're gathering it from that location is a rare bug. Usually the sheep will be parked there, but then I'll move to the mid left side of the town center.
Yep.
The main reason for that location is that it's pretty close to where the villagers are building the original houses when they're not Huns. And so the villagers will want to gather from the left side of the town center.
Yeah. I would actually, like Rehoboam will put them back over here. And the reason I think this is a better spot is that when you're luring the boar, you usually want to go in from one of these sides. And the sheep might be in the way if it's here. So from that point of view, I would think this would be a better spot to have them parked, but yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
Also, I think it's a bit easier.
Something to experiment with.
It's a bit. I think they're somewhat stealable out here, if someone wanted to lame them. They're a bit further away from the TC. I don't think any AI is like consciously trying to steal sheep, but a human might attempt to steal these sheep or kill them.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a slight improvement. Earlier versions had the sheep further away from the town center.
Yeah.
And now they're a bit closer and a bit more to the left side.
I guess it also depends how much DUC you're using, right? Because the closer they are, if you don't use enough DUC, it might accidentally kill the next sheep here.
Yeah, there's definitely code to retask it if it tries to target the wrong sheep.
Yeah. Rehoboam is full DUC and Dark Age, so it can't even retask to the next sheep. The vills will just go idle when they finish a sheep until given the next task. So they could even be right next to the sheep without killing it.
That's nice. It'd be cool to implement that someday, but probably other priorities for the general. Adding micro, booming possibilities, and then something besides a fast castle. I'm sure people would enjoy that.
Yep. Yeah. A bit of an exposed lumber camp here. Built to the far side of this lumber camp, and also in the front of the base. That's probably gonna be the first place Rehoboam will hit, I would imagine, if it goes in a straight line, which it still tends to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Another possible thing that could be going on, I think it picked that forest. It will slowly start at one tree and then build out from there in all directions until it finds a location that can be built. So that sometimes will position it on the wrong side of a forest. So definitely could optimize it further to make sure it's on away from the enemy side of a forest or close to the TC.
Yeah. I guess there's many different ways of making DUC lumber camps. But it's definitely
Yep. Hopefully, well, I'm curious to see if the general will pick near that lumbering camp as the place to build its tower.
so this mining camp is a lot further than it would have been if it was on this gold. But I'd imagine it may be on purpose from the general to have it more safe in the back.
Yeah, that's on purpose, just because of the fast castle strategy.
Yeah.
I'm sure for fleshing strategies, I'd reverse that to much more prioritized distance.
Yep. That's definitely an important thing to consider. I think Rehoboam is all about efficiency, so it does have a very little prioritization of building things further to the back, but not that much. I think what it'll do is it will choose a parameter of distance to the TC to give a lumber camp points, so it'll have fewer points the longer the distance. But instead of being the center of the TC, it'll be like a point right behind the TC that it'll count to, which will award lumber camps being further back. But it would never build like a mining camp or a lumber camp back here as the first one.
Yep, that makes sense. The general kind of uses a point system. I think distance, maybe weighted by 2, and then also the distance from the enemy.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's a little bit weighted toward
Sorry
just
to
the TC, but it's kind of a combination.
Sorry to interrupt you here, but this is going to be very close. Is it going to finish the tower?
Yep.
Oh, it did. All right. So this is already a whole other situation with the tower being finished.
Yep.
It's
I would have loved to see the tower closer to the lumber camp, but
yeah,
this also protects the entrance to the town pretty well.
Because it doesn't really fully protect anything here. So I think 3 vills or 4 maybe going down so far. And this would be 5 then. 4 or 5. I'm not sure if it'll... Oh, I guess that villager actually made it see it. I'm not sure it would have seen the villagers if not for that. Yeah, this is kind of a massacre.
Definitely hitting all the locations.
Let's see if it's... Oh. Oh no! It resigned before even hitting... It was just about to hit Castle Age, I think. And get some knights out. I'm not sure what it's
well, I think what was the villager counts between the both of them?
It was 21 for the general and 36 for Rehoboam.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, so probably a bit premature. There could have been a chance with getting the knights, but it was still probably like a less than 10% chance at that point. There's such a huge villager difference at that point in the game.
Yeah. I think the game was probably over, but it had the one chance that it could get a good fight if Rehoboam threw some units away and do some counter damage, at least against AIs with worse micro. That would be likely to still be away, even though the build difference is quite big. But yeah, I guess.
And I think a big point is that it hit the mining camp. I guess we got the mining camp on the forward gold. I don't know how many were gathering from the rear gold, but it looks like it was short on gold to go to Castle Age.
Yep.
It might have been missing the second Castle Age building as well.
So,
but definitely a good join from Rehoboam.
Yeah, that was. I would say that was faster than I anticipated. I was confident that it would do some damage to the general, but I thought the general would at least get some Castle Age units out in both games.